Any tips for sleep? Unfortunately, I have a lot. If we first start with sound, there's evidence that noise masking using earbuds can improve sleep quality. And these can just be the extremely inexpensive foam earplugs that you can buy in bulk. If not silence, it does appear that pink noise may be able to induce a more stable state of sleep and improve sleep quality. If we then move on to light, it appears that eye masks, and more than likely blackout curtains, can improve sleep quality, especially in those with bright lights in their surrounding environment. In addition to during bed, wearing blue light blocking glasses and avoiding bright lights for a few hours prior to bed does appear to decrease the amount of time it takes for individuals to fall asleep. However, the studies have differing outcomes and not all of them show statistically significant benefits. However, none of them show harm, therefore it might be a useful preventative measure. In addition to this, it appears that using technology of any type in close proximity to bedtime reduces sleep quantity and quality. On the contrary, bright lights in the morning, especially sunlight, appears to shorten the time it takes to fall asleep that night and increases alertness in the morning. Another tip is going to be breathing. It appears that a 0.1 Hz breathing practice, which is about 6 breaths per minute, can decrease sleep latency and increase the stability of sleep, especially in those with pre-existing sleep issues. Next, the temperature of the environment is extremely important for sleep, because a reduction in core body temperature is very important for the onset of sleep and the maintenance and progression through different sleep cycles. It appears that the optimal room temperature is between 19 and 21 degrees Celsius, which is between 66.2 and 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Slightly in opposition to a cool sleeping environment, passive heating prior to bed, which actually assists in the reduction in core body temperature, such as a bath, a hot shower, a foot bath, or some other form of heat technique, 1 to 2 hours before bed appears to increase sleep efficiency and improve subjective sleep quality. If we move on to exercise, it appears that mind-body exercises, such as yoga and Tai Chi, as well as your typical physical exercises such as weightlifting, cardiovascular training, CrossFit, etc., improve subjective sleep quality and decrease the amount of sleep disturbances, indicating it is increasing the depth and quality of our sleep. Although there isn't much data on the topic, there is a very small amount of data indicating that high-intensity exercise in close proximity to bed may impair sleep quality. Therefore, it might be important to delegate your highest intensity exercises earlier in the day. But acute evening low-intensity exercises may actually assist in sleep by shortening the amount of time it takes to fall asleep. Another thing we might not want to do is eat or drink in close proximity to bed. It appears to be beneficial to delegate as much calories to the early portions of the day as possible, and have your last meal as far away from bed as possible. Nevertheless, a snack of about 150 calories, especially when it contains protein, does not appear to harm sleep quality and may actually be beneficial for muscle protein synthesis during sleep. When it comes to your final meal before bed, it appears that foods that are rich in tryptophan, melatonin, and serotonin improve sleep quality, likely because tryptophan and serotonin are eventually converted into the sleep-promoting hormone melatonin. And if you can pair a food rich in tryptophan with dietary carbohydrates, it may increase the amount of tryptophan that enters into the brain for melatonin production. And now the last two things you might not want to do is consume your average cup of coffee any closer to 8.8 hours prior to bed, or your average serving of pre-workout any closer than 13 hours prior to bed, in order to see no disruption in sleep quality. And finally, although many people use it to fall asleep, it appears that alcohol does indeed disrupt sleep, and may increase the risk of breathing-related sleep events. Therefore, it would be suggested not to consume alcohol at all, especially not in close proximity to bed, and try to consume your caffeine as early in the day as possible, as far away from bedtime as you can.